I should not have raged so hard at Toads last night. There's no way I'm making it to class today. It's truly mind-blowing how something as simple as sending an email involves so many technological functions, or protocols. The technical obstacles Roger's email must go through on the BobcatNet, in order for his professor to receive it, can best be explained through the OSI 7-layer network model. The OSI model provides a common language to describe a network, or a way to communicate with each other about the functions of a network, in terms of layers. Each layer in the OSI model defines an important function in computer networking, and the protocols that operate at that layer offer solutions to those functions. The first layer is the physical layer, which defines the method of moving data between computers. The network needs a physical channel through which it can move bits of data between systems. Cabling and hubs define the physical layer of the network. Once Roger clicks the send button to send his email to his professor, this data is transmitted through an unshielded twisted pair cable running back to the BobcatNet hub. The data link layer defines the rules for accessing and using the physical layer. Keep in mind that computer data, in this case Roger's email, is binary, which means it is made up of streams of ones and zeros. The network interface card, or NIC, which serves as the interface between the PC and the network, on his system sends this email, or binary data, as pulses of electricity. All networks transmit data by breaking whatever is moving across the physical layer into discrete chunks called frames. The NIC creates and sends, as well as receives and reads, these frames. Inside every NIC is special firmware containing a unique identifier called the MAC address, or Media Access Control Address, so that data is delivered to the right system. The frame begins with the MAC address of the NIC to which the data is to be sent, so since the professor is the recipient of Roger's email, his system's MAC address would be the first chunk of data in the frame, followed by the physical address of the sending NIC, which is Roger's. The email, or data, is next, followed by a special bit of checking information called the frame check sequence, or FCS. FCS uses a type of binary math called cyclic redundancy check, or CRC, that the receiving NIC, in this case the professor's NIC, uses to verify that the data, or email arrived intact. The NIC isn't concerned about the content of the data in the frame, it just simply takes whatever data is passed to it via its device driver and addresses it for the correct system. To summarize what's happening, Roger's networking operating system, or NOS, commanded its NIC to send and create a frame to transport his email to his professor's NIC. The logical link control, or LLC, is the aspect of the NIC that talks to the OS, places data coming from the software into frames, and creates the CRC on each frame. The frame is transmitted down the cable into the hub. The hub, in turn, made an exact copy of that frame, sending a copy of the original frame to every other system on the BobcatNet. Only Roger's professor's NIC, the NIC with the matching MAC address, will process that frame, while the other NICs simply erase it when they see that it's not addressed to their MAC address. Roger's NIC knew the MAC address of his professor's NIC because their NICs have communicated before, and each system stores that data. The professor's NIC uses FCS to verify that the email is valid. The professor's NIC then strips off all the framing information and sends the data to the NOS for processing. At the network layer, packets get created and addressed so they can go from one network to another. I'll get to what a packet is in a bit, but it's important to understand what Internet Protocol, or IP, is first. IP makes sure that a piece of data gets to where it needs to go on the network by giving each device on the network a unique identifier called the IP address, or logical address. It eliminates the concern about the type of hardware used for transmission. So, as you already know, the frame enables Roger